What's going on, people? Welcome to the match preview show. It's another Conference League game and a big game at home. We've got AZ Alkmaar. I'm joined by Lou, AJ, and Xavier to get all the thoughts and insights ahead of a big game for me, anyways. But we'll get your thoughts in the comment section down below, and we'll see what everyone else is saying on the panel. I'll start off with you, Lou. How you feeling? How you feeling ahead of this one? I mean, we saw what happened against Larnaca. We were all confident and we got humbled. You was there, I was there as well. And for this game, are you a bit more nervous based on what happened, or do you think we could bounce back?
I definitely think that that loss might have woken us up a bit. No more nonsense lineups, bro. Full strength. Full strength.
What was the nonsense lineup? Who do you think it was? The whole team or? Relatively strong.
Let me take it back. It wasn't really nonsense. It was just it wasn't the right fit. We needed a bit more creativity.
Yeah. For you, AJ, I believe you're going to the game on Thursday. I think we all are. We all are, including Xavier as well. No, Xavier, are you coming? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah.
Yeah. Xavier will be there as well. So Xavier's coming down. Your dad will be there, so we're all going to be there. That's funny. But yeah, AJ, going back to you, I don't think you was at the Larnaca game, but Lou mentioned the lineup concerns. Do you think maybe Glasner has to go a bit stronger? I think I'm more thinking about the midfield area. Other than that, I don't think there was that much really that he could have changed.
No, I think there were a few changes he made naturally. Obviously, the likes of your Soulsers and your Lermers starting over your sort of main starters in your Whartons and Mitchell, to be fair. I just want us to just go full strength and then just get the points on the board, make it to the knockout phases. Obviously, it's not escaped my mindset that we got Brighton come weekend as well. So I want us to be as fresh as we possibly can for that. But if we're serious about dominating this competition and we are the favourites, it is the kind of game that we're going to need to start picking up points. I think the Lana game was a little bit of a stumbling block, and it kind of surprised everyone, me included. As you will remember, I wasn't even in the right frame of mind, to be fair, after that game. So, I just want us to take it a little bit more seriously, try and dominate and just bombard them as early as possible. And then, you can start taking off players for more pressing fixtures later on down the line. I don't know why you just can't do it that way around.
Yeah, Xavier, AJ mentioned there about the Brighton game. Does that play into a factor towards the team we put out on Thursday? Because that game is massive. It's not just any other Premier League game. It's against Brighton. And, there isn't that much time between both games. Thankfully, we're playing at home in those games. But does that Brighton game play a part into Glasner's team selection on Thursday, do you reckon?
To be honest, I'm not really sure if it does. I think, given the teams we played, the last couple of matches, we took that Liverpool match, very seriously when, they obviously didn't. And I think, that was a big result for us, getting, through to the next round, 3-0, and then, keeping another clean sheet, on the weekend. And I think, Glasner will have seen that, seen how we've reacted, with, stronger lineups, keeping clean sheets. And, we want to replicate that. We don't really have any wiggle room anymore in terms of, finishing top 8, which, I think is bare minimum for what we should be doing in this competition, to be honest. So I expect us to play a very strong team. I think generally the only changes probably Sosa will get a start for Mitchell and maybe Benitez in for Henderson. But other than that, I expect us to be, full strength. Maybe Canva in for Richards again. But other than that, I expect us to see, Wharton and, come out in the midfield, the normal front three, and then, everyone else, as they are. I think we'll take this very seriously. And I think, maybe if the match is going well, because we started so well, we can, bring the changes in, after an hour, if, we're going well and the result looks in hand. But I expect us to play a very strong team from the start. I'd be very surprised if we didn't. And I think, just because of the Larnaca match, we just don't really have any wiggle room. And Alkmaar is one of the better sides in the competition. So I expect us to take it very seriously. And I think we need to. I think it's a very, very big match on Thursday, and it really needs to be 3 points.
Yeah. I do think the Larnaca game was a wake-up call for Palace. And in a way, of course, no one wants their team to lose, but maybe we needed that in this competition to not just the players, maybe, the manager as well in terms of his team selection, which I understand. Look, there were so many games around the Larnaca games. Even right now, there are. We barely have any rest. And, he had to make sacrifices. That was my thoughts going into that game. And the sacrifice he decided was in midfield because, we had Arsenal and then we also had Liverpool in the League Cup. and some of the players needed rest. But talking about the midfield, Lou, because that was my main area of concern in the Larnaca game. Lerm was coming off a game where, he was man of the match. So, and he was one of those against Larnaca that struggled. So what do you do if you're Oliver Glasner going into this one?
Well, one, I can't say I'm him because, bro, I don't really like telling him what to do because, do you know what I mean? He normally gets it right 99% of the time. But I'd go Walton and Kamada. I wouldn't start Sosa. I wouldn't start Convo. I would go full strength. And then ring the changes maybe on 50 and 60. I don't think we can't afford to lose or draw another game. We need another 3 points on the board. A lot of players are going to have a couple of weeks off through international break, like Mitchell, so he can play. Obviously, a couple of boys like Munoz and Lerma. Lerma's going to Colombia. Richards is traveling, but I think people like Mitchell and Lacroix, that Mateta, they're going to have 2 weeks off, so they can play these 2 games. So I'm saying go full strength and try and be 2-0 up, maybe 3-0 up. Obviously, it's not that simple, but try and get the game won or be in a strong position going into the last 20, 30 minutes, a bit like Brentford, and not be trying to claw the game back.
Don't you think we can still go full strength, even with Canvo in the team? Don't you think that team is still strong enough? I know he had a mistake against Larnaca, but looks solid against Liverpool. Don't you think these are good opportunities for him to be out there? Why not?
Because a good team is built on foundation and repetition, and that back 3, back 5 is as solid as it gets in Europe, and it gives the confidence for the forward players to then produce what they need to. I wouldn't start him.
AJ, what about you in terms of the rotations, midfield and also in defence?
Like I said earlier on, I just want to go full strength, to be fair. Louis pretty much nailed it bang on. Although the only one which I'm a bit 50-50 on is I actually rate Canvo. I know he obviously had that mistake in the last game, but actually I think he looks pretty comfortable and solid, to be fair. That would be the only change I'd consider. I'm not really feeling Sousa as of yet. Obviously, the jury's still out. It's early days, isn't it? But I'm not feeling what I've seen out of him. Benitez is more than capable of being in goal. I'm not sure what's going on with the Nketiah and Mateta situation either, to be fair. But I fully agree with Louis. I really want us to build a lead in the game, and then we can worry about bringing on your more air quote squad players to rest of the weekend. And I'll be honest, I didn't even have that international break in my head. So with that being said, just go full strength for both games. I'm not trying to hear nothing else.
Yeah, Xavier, when you look at the 2 number 10s, I thought they struggled against Larnaca in terms of the space. We spoke about Sarr and how he, tends to flourish when there's spacing behind for him to use his strength and also his speed. In this game, I would start both of them, of course. And I'm more confident based on the last 2 games that I've seen as well, because it seems like they've just needed a goal and an assist, and they've both, mixed it up. If you could look at the Liverpool game and also the Brentford one, do you go with the same 2, or are you a bit worried if Alkmaar sit back once again? Is that concern for you with Pino and Sarr?
Not really, to be honest. I think it has to be, the normal front 3, and I think Alkmaar will actually come out and attack us, to be honest. They're also, one of the favorites for the competition. I don't know. They haven't been doing so well so far, but they're, a good side. They're going well in, their domestic league. I think they're, in 3rd. I expect them to, be looking to get a result from this match. I think their manager will be looking to get a result. I don't think they're going to come in and sit deep, and I think, that could suit us. Larnaca came, for a point. They ended up getting 3, and it was, fair play to them. They, executed their, game plan to perfection. But I expect Alkmaar to attack us a bit more, and I think, that will suit Sarr a bit more, but I think just generally it just has to be the normal front 3. The way they're playing recently, the way that they're linking, all of them in the last couple of matches have either, gotten a goal or an assist or both, So I think, we just keep going with them and, they just continue to grow and gel. Like Louis said, consistency and repetition, is the key. And, just keep getting these guys playing together and, they continue to grow and grow throughout the season. And I think, it has to be them from the start, especially, with Nketiah injured after the international break anyway. So I think it's those 3. I wouldn't, mess about with, giving Uche or Esse or, Deveni a start. Just, play the front 3 and, those are our best 3, I think, in terms of our attack. So just keep playing them and keep seeing what they do, and they've been playing well recently. So just keep it going.
When you're looking at the table, it's still very early days in the Conference League. We have 3 points, but of course, if we do win this game, you can go joint top. And the biggest thing is to go 8th, and it depends on other results. But are we looking at this game at home, Lou, as like a must-win? Or, when you're looking at the amount of fixtures that we got coming up, we got Shelbourne, we got Strasbourg after this, and Coops as well. Or are you saying that, even if we don't get a result in this game, we should still be relatively fine and you're not concerned?
Nah, this is a must-win. Strasbourg away is after this. That's going to be. I don't think there's a tougher fixture you can get in this competition. Strasbourg away, hostile. They're a good team. I think they must be in the top 5 or 6 in League. Pacey, strong, good players all over the pitch. We don't want to be going there like needing a result of 2 losses or even off a point off this game. I think AZ out. I think Dutch football in general, they're not really sitting in. That's not their ethos. They don't. If you look at like PSV, Feyenoord, and Ajax in the Champions League in Europe, I don't think I've ever seen a Dutch team sit in a low block before. I just don't think it's part of their culture. So yeah, I think it's a must-win Thursday, if I'm being honest, and I'd take a win Thursday. Obviously, I would never take a loss against Brighton, but I think Thursday is more important than Sunday.
So what do you mean by that?
I'm saying I don't care about rotation. They need to win Thursday and then deal with Sunday after Thursday.
Well, of course, we want to win every single game, but
yeah, but there's no.
It sounded like you were happy with a bit of sacrifice on Sunday for the Thursday game.
No, not sacrifice. I'm saying I don't want anything to be held back for Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday's a big game. That's the thing. It's a game we have to.
But
win.
there's 38 games in the Premier League.
There are, but we don't face Brighton 38 times. That's the biggest thing.
To me, obviously, it's a massive rivalry, but we beat them in the playoffs. We're above them every season, and we won the FA Cup. So they ain't really. There's no bragging rights for them right now.
But saying that, I don't know about you, AJ, but you've got a potential win against Brighton could push us up to. Of course, it depends on our results, but second in the league, which would be a massive.
We ain't going second, man.
Right, let me just nip this in the bud, because I already see the fishing. I've seen the fishing. Listen, I need a win on Thursday. Whatever comes out after that is a bonus.
So the Brighton game is a bonus.
Listen. I can live with a lesser result, i.e., a draw or a loss to Brighton, over getting knocked out of the Europa Conference League. I can live with that. I'm not trying to go to Strasbourg with 3 points. That's not enough for me. I need points on Thursday. That's it. What happens after that is a bonus.
But look,
that's what I'm saying, bro. You can win both games, but I'm saying I don't want anything held back or resting Thursday as a priority.
I think the good thing is, I don't know about you, Xavier, it's the fact that we've got rest from the Brentford game to the Thursday game. So maybe like that, we can afford to go a bit more full strength because of, the international break coming up. So as we've mentioned, players are going to be having a break. Not everyone, of course. And also the break from, the gap between Brentford and Alkmaar. So I'm not really that concerned about that. But for Alkmaar, they are third in the table in their respective league. In the Dutch league, they've scored 24 goals in 11 games, only conceded 13. And in the Conference League, funny enough, they did end up losing against Larnaca. So Larnaca managed to beat both Alkmaar and Palace, and they lost 4-0 after an early red card. In terms of all of the fixtures laid out, where do you rank Alkmaar in terms of the difficulty test in this Conference League out of the 6 games?
I think it's our second biggest test, to be honest. I think only Strasbourg away is more difficult. I think, Alkmaar coming into the competition was, amongst the, favorites for the competition. Obviously, we were the main favorites, but they were, within the top 8. I think, they're the second, most difficult game that we have to deal with. I think Kiev might have been a bit more difficult, if we're actually playing in Ukraine and, they had an actual crowd. But, given the current geopolitical climate, that wasn't, a possibility. So I think when I saw this come out, I thought it was our second most difficult fixture, out of the 6. But we're playing them at home, and, I think we're better than them. So like these guys are saying, Lou and AJ, I think it has to be 3 points. And again, there's just no wiggle room after Larnaca. If we had beaten Larnaca, and we're talking about, being on 6 points, probably, within the top 3, be like, yeah, we could take a point, and then, deal with Strasbourg, probably win the last 2. But, given that we don't have that wiggle room anymore, I think anything less than, coming top 8 in this, would be a failure. I think we could come through the knockouts, in that 9 through 25 if need be, but it really, we're more than good enough to be finishing top 8. So it needs to be 3 points. And I think they are one of the better sides we'll probably play in this competition. But I thought the same about Kiev, and we handled that, very comfortably. So I don't see any reason why it can't be similar on Thursday, to be honest, especially, the way we've been playing over, the last couple matches. So, yeah, I think it'll be one of the more difficult matches. I think obviously more difficult than, Shelbourne or Coops, although they present different challenges. But, again, I don't see any reason why, at our best, and, I expect us to be putting, if not full strength, pretty much full strength side, why it shouldn't be 3 points, even though they are, one of the better sides. We've seen what we've done against one of the better sides in Kiev, and so I don't see any reason why we can't repeat that.
Lou, are you concerned, or are you looking forward to Alkmaar? Because you did say the Dutch league, they do tend to be more open. I'll be honest, I haven't watched any of the Alkmaar games in the Conference League. But what type of approach do you think we'll be expecting from them against Palace? Because yes, they are like that in their respective leagues, but we are the favourites in this competition. So it doesn't necessarily always translate to that's how we're going to play against Palace because of how we play against play in our own league. Strasbourg is the only team which I don't think is going to change their way. That's the only team. Other than that, Alkmaar, you'd think they won't change their ways, right?
Yeah, but it's like when I watch Dutch teams in general in the Europe, like wasn't it PSV lost like 7-1 to Arsenal last year?
Yeah.
Like, they don't sit back at all. It's just not in the culture. Like they've never the culture of low blocks and sitting. It's like the Bundesliga. Have you ever seen a German team sitting? They don't. They're just wide open. Hence why so many goals. People like Kane and Lewandowski and Haaland would score so many because it's all high lines. It's all, I don't know, Bundesliga is a bit different to the I can't even pronounce it, the Dutch league. Yeah, but I don't think they're going to be, they might be a little bit more solid. They might not commit like tons of players forward, but I definitely think they won't sit in. They got Troy Parrott from Tottenham up front. He's their main guy, but that's nothing to be. Actually, no, I'm not going to say that.
Well, you just said it now.
I didn't want to
get it edited out, so it's there. It's there. They did beat Slovan Bratislava in their latest conference.
Where's Bratislava?
Bratislava. Okay, yeah. Just like just a minute ago. Wait. So they did end up beating. They did end up beating them, and it was only 1-0. The opposition, they did have a red card, funny enough, and they had an XG of 3.55, but they only managed to score 1 goal. So hopefully they're not clinical against us. And in terms of the actual league form, they've been very good. I mean, the last time they've actually lost a game was against Larnaca in the Conference League. So since then, they've been good. They've got 5 wins since that game. Anything else you lot want to add against Alkmaar? I mean, we spoke about the lineup, the team. In terms of their squad and some of the top players, as you mentioned, Troy Parrott, he scored 6 goals so far this season. He's the highest goal scorer. And in terms of assists, Savan Mians, probably butchering that name perfectly, has 5 assists. So he's been the playmaker, and he plays, find out for you right now, he plays as number 10. So they've seemed like they've got a good connection with the 10 and the number 9. All right, let's move on to the prediction table. So as Patrick is not here, I will run you through all the latest. We've got the man who's leading us right now at the top of the table and has been comfortable on the show, and that is AJ with 17 points. We've got T with 14, Nick and Louis with 9 points. Patrick and I have got 8. joint 5th. And then last place, unfortunately, is Xavier. But we're trying our best to fix that and put Louis last. So it's going to be another opportunity in this one. In terms of the predictions for this game, well, AJ kind of scored his prediction.
You're first, by the way.
Sorry, don't disrespect the host like that. But
you're first, by the way.
so AJ had a prediction. Actually, AJ, you can say your prediction in just a second. T's prediction was 2-0 Palace. Nick said 2-0 Palace as well. Patrick went for 2-1. And then we'll start off with you, AJ, as we know your prediction, as you posted it early, as you're so confident. Are you going to still stick by the same prediction?
Palace 1, AZ 0.
Well, look, if you want to follow someone, it'll be AJ right now. Trust me, it won't be Louis. So let's go to Xavier next. Xavier, the person who's lost the table, go from first to last.
I'll go 2-0 loss.
2-0 win or wait, 2-0 win or loss?
2-0 us or win. Yeah.
Oh, us. Okay. I thought you said 2-0 loss. I was going to say, damn. No wonder you're last at the table. If you're going to go for that. Okay, so got 1-0, 2-0, and then my little bro, Louis, what are you going with?
What are you doing, bro?
What?
I don't know what. Have some parliamentary procedure here, bro.
Yeah, what's the parliamentary procedure? What's the prediction?
Okay.
Are you okay? You're just staring at me. What's the prediction?
Bro, give me a prediction, bro.
Should I say mine? Okay, you can copy me if you want, if you like. I'm going to go for 1-0 Palace. Okay, what's your prediction?
1-0 Palace.
You're such a weirdo.
You guys are both idiots. These guys are idiots.
No, like, I've never
They're
met
actually idiots.
before. That's this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You need to find a way around.
You know, if you get it right, the gap is still going to be the same.
Yeah, that's what it's annoying. Like he just wants to be like me. It's annoying.
If anything, the two of you want to be like me because you keep copying my prediction.
No, I'll be honest. I haven't been copying you. If I was copying you, I wouldn't be as far behind. But this guy's been copying me. You know why? Because he wants to make sure I can't go ahead of him. It's just a weird character. I mean, this is what we have to deal with, isn't it?
It's not my fault. It's not my fault you read my mind.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, let us know your score prediction in the comment section down below. The reason why I'm going for 1-0 is because I expect it to be a tight game, not because I'm copying obvious. And as you've seen, I predict.
It's because he wants to catch me. It's because he can't. No. It's because this guy doesn't have an original thought. That's why.
Well, to be fair, if the 1-0 comes along, then I mean we are slowly closing the gap on AJ. So.
Imitation is a form of flattery.
Hey, look, you're top of the table right now, but it's still early on, buddy. I'll calm down if I was you, because trust me, you don't want to be talking too early. You don't want to be talking too early and then drop off from the top.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Who talks the most about this prediction league? Who's always talking the most?
Not me. You're pointing at no one, by the way, Louis. I don't know who's there, your cat or someone. I don't know who you're pointing at, but I don't talk about. I'm hosting, so of course I'm going to talk about it. What do you mean, like? Who brings it up? Me, of course. I'm hosting.
May the odds be with you.
Well, I don't really care about this prediction table, in all honesty. I'll tell you that. I'm just doing it.
This guy's a liar.
I'm just doing it for the culture at this point. You know.
One day, the WhatsApp group chat will be leaked. That's what I'm saying. So be very careful in it. Like,
yeah, it has a bit of a twist. So yeah, we'll see. But anyways, we're gonna wrap up now. If you have enjoyed this, please drop a like and subscribe. If you haven't already done so, we'll be back on Thursday. I'm pretty sure I'm doing the reaction solo. And then, there'll be many more content. Opposition preview also dropping tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It'll be interesting to see that Alkmaar perspective on the game. And until next time.
Check out the Brentford ratings as well. They're out now.
Yeah, Brentford ratings, they're already out as well. So you'll probably watch this if you're watching this. But yeah, if you haven't, go check them out. And also the Brentford vlog from Patrick is out as well. So loads of content. But that's it from us. And until next time, up the pads.